Hello everyone, and welcome back to coverage of Grand Prix São Paulo for the MSEM format. I'm Caillou, and today we're going to be watching the round 4 match between Kenneth and BluesEclipse. Kenneth is running out Jeskai Legends. It's a deck which is built around the power of Chikami Castle mana base, along with a bunch of other fun synergies, and finally with the top end of Emma the Traveler, who is a Jeskai 3-drop that when they enter the battlefield, you look at the top 5 cards of your library, and you can essentially add any number of legendary cards from them to your hand. So, very powerful draw engine that complements and otherwise still respectable, aggressively oriented. Meanwhile, on the other side of the table, BluesEclipse is playing Infuse the Apparatus Storm. The idea is you just play kind of a controlling game plan at the start of the game, using removal like Storm Surge, along with cantrips or careful studies like Wheat from Chaff, to ditch a bunch of instants or sorceries into your graveyard. Then you exile all of them with Infuse the Apparatus, hopefully getting an Unleash the Dragon in there somewhere, and then cast a bunch of spells to pin your opponent to death. As you may notice from the special frame on this card, this is actually a champion promo, which are given out to winners of previous Grand Prix. So BluesEclipse actually won Grand Prix Yogyakarta with Infuse Storm and is looking to run it back right now. So they've been playing this for a while, and I think that as an experienced pilot, it's going to be interesting to see the choices. I think starting off with this keep, it definitely looks very risky. Has no red sources, and the only playable card is a Wheat from Chaff. But being able to ditch Unleash the Dragon and Infuse is definitely big money, because you can cast an Infuse off an Infuse to just get more value. And having that alongside Unleash the Dragon is. And top decks the Shugenja Sanctuary, so will have the fixing, is going to run out the Wheat from Chaff, drawing into Monkey Shines and a Spirit Script. I think you probably discard. Yeah, Spirit Script is an easy discard because you want it in your graveyard anyway. For basically what it does, it enables synergies with cards that care about the number of copies themselves in graveyard. And I think it has some cute interactions with when you cast spells exiled with Infuse the Apparatus. And is discarding the Storm Surge as a second card. That's a little bit surprising to me. I would think that you'd want to discard the second Infuse so that you can cast it off the first one when you go off, and keep the Storm Surge around as an aggressive, or not aggressive, but as a good piece of removal, because you can go Storm Surge into Monkey Shines next turn and kill Lord Rokai or another one of their aggressive early creatures. But yeah, right now Kenneth is just going to go for the 1/1 beatdown. I think playing the island turn 1 was a mistake, because it means that Kenneth can't go double Emperor's Retainer this turn, but will be able to get one in. Actually, no, sorry, wouldn't, even with Chikami Castle, wouldn't have been able to get double, because Emperor's Retainer isn't legendary itself. I don't remember if they had the fetch last. Yeah, actually, there was no real sequence where they could have gotten down double Emperor's Retainer. Still managed to swing in for 3 with the Lord Rokai, and next turn we'll be swinging in for 6 damage, and then 8. So is putting Blues on a pretty aggressive clock here. So Blues has to respond with by out-linearing Kenneth at this point. And obviously Monkey Shines helps with that, ditching a bunch more, hopefully, burn spells into your graveyard, cantripping to draw you into more. But for now, Blues is actually just going to run out the Unleash the Dragon, just dealing 1 to Lord Rokai. Lord Rokai, it's because Lord Rokai has the illusion text, so it dies. And this is basically just because you want to get Unleash the Dragon into the grave as soon as possible. And doing so while killing a threat is just. And yeah, now Kenneth is in kind of a bad spot, because they can't play 2 Emperor's Retainer, and their Emperor's Retainer doesn't actually they don't buff each other, so they're just swinging in with a bunch of Savannah Lions, which is fine, but it's nowhere near the kind of clock that they want to have to be able to contest Blues' potential to just infuse Storm off. And the problem is, without Emma, the deck does lack card advantage, and the Emperor's Retainers aren't exactly big bruisers in and of themselves. Okay, Blue's going to run out the Monkey Shines first to just get some information. And just making sure, Infuse does cost 1 less for each instant sorcery in your graveyard. So, Blue's going to ditch Oracle's Vision, and there's the 3rd Infuse, damn. So that means right now Infuse actually costs 7 less to cast, so is 5 mana. And Blues doesn't have any other instants or sorceries to ditch, unfortunately. Probably is just going to play Onsen. Um, I think that this was kind of a mistake to actually, or like it's not a mistake, but it kind of hurt Blues here to not use the Shigenja Sanctuary for the um, Monkey Shines because that leaves Blues unable to actually crack the clue this turn, which sets them at kind of a mana deficit. And the tall Locust Sentry from Kenneth main deck disruption is quite good, and again versus Storm, Tall is just gravy because, like, I mean, obviously because Blues is trying to just free cast a bunch of spells with Infuse, you can tax them. Blues can kill Tall with one of the burn spells and then proceed to go off, I think, but it prevents. It makes Infuse harder to cast in the first place as well. It's just kind of annoying for Blue with. Less so perhaps than traditional Storm, but still quite annoying. So Kenneth going to name Sorcery, and because of the Emperor's Retainers, is a big boy. So Kenneth is going to swing in for 4 this turn, putting Blues to 11. Has a 2-turn clock on Blues, because swings for 8, and then lethal the turn after that. Actually, wait, next turn? Oh, this is actually interesting. Potentially has lethal next turn, and the reason I say that is if Blues plays the Wayfarer Shrine, Blues can't play the Wayfarer Shrine or play the Nebula without killing themselves. Okay, wait, I did forget about Onzen. Onzen, because it is Island Urborg, does allow the Shigenja Sanctuary to tap for blue and does allow Blues to crack the clue on it. And then can also unleash the dragon for 1 to kill one of the Emperor's Retainers, so is definitely not dead next turn. And could potentially even go off with Infuse this. Monkey Shines is essentially mana neutral for Infuse and potentially even a ritual. So like if you Monkey Shines into even 1, because even 1 puts you at 9. Yeah, if Monkey Shines hits even 1 instant or sorcery, oh no, but yeah, there's still the Tal. Yeah, so actually Blues definitely can't go off this turn because Monkey Shines will cost 2. Unleash the Dragon will then cost 3. Like, I think Blues is only out here is play Unleash 3. And, like, Unleash for 3 mana and then kill an Emperor's Retainer. You still take a bunch of damage next turn, but then that opens you up to being able to kill Tal with a Scorch off the top next turn, or potentially just going off. So Monkey Shines and misplays Monkey Shines. You can't ditch one and then draw the other. And yeah, after so BluesEclipse plays the Monkey Shines, and it looks like they gambled to find. I don't even know what they were trying to gamble for, because they mentioned in chat they gambled and missed, but like. Yeah, I think just casting the Monkey Shines instead of casting the Imagine the Dragon was too risky. Or like not the Imagine Dragons, Jesus Christ. What is it? Oh my god. The Unleash the Dragon, yeah. Because Unleash the Dragon, at least you can pay 3. It's not efficient, but you pay 3, you kill one of their things, you buy yourself another turn to potentially go off. But yeah, Blues ended up losing that game in what was pretty tight. I think Blues kept kind of a risky opener, but almost got there. And if Kenneth hadn't top decked the Tal, Blues would have, I think, just won that turn. The Tal really just sealed the deal for Kenneth. And I think having that kind of main deck hate for Storm decks is going to be a problematic thing for Blues to deal with. Looking at sideboarding, though, Weight of Oceans, I don't think this... I'm not sure what if any of these are useful here. Like, Spotless Mind, maybe as like a wipe, but it's not great. Stand Unassailable is good because like the deck is relatively aggressive, but is that where you want to be, or do you want to be trying to outlinear? And doesn't exactly have any removal, other than like if you count the Weight of Oceans as like quote unquote removal for Tal, but other than that, yeah, this is kind of, I'm not sure about the sideboard. Blues is obviously way more experienced with the deck than I am, but like I can't see what you bring in other than maybe the stands. Meanwhile, on Kenneth's end, let's see. On Kano the Underhanded, players can't cast spells with converted cost less than the number of spells cast this. So this actually, wait, am I crazy or does this really help versus Storm? So yeah, this basically makes it that you can't, if you cast one spell, or like once you cast 2 spells, you can't cast CMC 1 spells anymore. Right, okay. I think you could probably sequence your way out of this, but then it's definite, especially since you can like cast a bolt pointed on Kano and then probably keep going. But it definitely provides another stumbling block for Blue. Ocean is another piece of I'm looking at Kenneth's sideboard. It's like, hold on. This is very screw you and your storm. So yeah, Ocean is definitely coming in because it's just another fuck your storm piece. Um, Anti-magic formula is definitely not for this. I guess you could bring it in and then just like counter and infuse the apparatus, like if you want more interaction versus the combo deck. But Ocean and Ankano already do a decent job. Um, and then Quell Mutiny is for aggro, and Event Horizon is also presumably for more aggressive. So that's my read on sideboarding. I think Kenneth definitely uh, gets the upper hand out of the sideboard by a lot because of Ankano plus Ocean. But we'll see how it actually plays out in practice. So it looks like we're a little bit into game two. Kenneth has opened up with a Tall, naming sorcery. Blues playing, it looks like a Magmatic Cache to try and draw into some more cards. Has a pretty flush hand in Infuse and a bunch of cantrips here. But yeah, I think Kenneth can just draw, also has the Ocean. So Tall plus Ocean is going to be, could be kind of brutal for Blues to work through. Does have the Unleash the Dragon for one of them, but then Blues needs another removal spell for the other. Yep, Ocean Keeper of the Shoal coming down. And then next turn, Kenneth can drop Emperor's Retainer, swing for a fat 7, and then also get Masahita down there for more card advantage. So this is a pretty tough hand for Blues, but Storm Surge does help to a degree. You can, but you can't really play Storm Surge here because Ocean or like Tal is going to tax it. So Blues is paying 3 for Unleash the Dragon just to kill the Tal. And then next turn can Storm Surge. Yeah, can Storm Surge plus like Imagine or Magmatic Cache to kill the Ocean. So not awful. Meanwhile, Kenneth, I think if you're Kenneth, Blues doesn't really have any wipes that they can play at this point in the game. So you just dump your hand. You play Masahita, you play Quillifer, you play Emperor's Retainer, swing for 4, and then just dunk on them. Looks like it's gonna like attack in with Ocean first. Swings for 4. And right now this Legendary Creatures deck is being surprising. It's putting up a surprising amount of pressure on Blues' life total. Because it's not as fast as a traditional burn deck would be, but it's able to get in damage in big chunks, which Blues doesn't really have an answer to. Unless they brought in Stand Unassailable out the side, which makes this matchup a lot, which makes the damage a lot less of an issue. But now Blues, okay, so let's say if Kenneth plays both the Masahita and a Quillifer, how much damage is that threatening next turn? I think that's lethal next turn, or at least threatening lethal next turn. Blues obviously has answered, but because Masahita plus, because that is exactly 13 damage with Emperor's Retainer. Because 4 from Masahita, 4 from Ocean, 3 from a Quillifer, 2 from Emperor's Retainer. So Blues probably wants to Storm Surge, Imagine, kill the Emperor's Retainer. Because Blues right now only has 3 spells engraved, so this Infuse is still a whopping 9 mana. It looks like Blues did side in the Spotless Mind. But again, Kenneth doesn't have to worry about it because Blues essentially Stone Rained themselves to cast the Magmatic Cache earlier and is nowhere near close to 6 lands. And by the time Blues gets to 6 lands, it's going to die. So yeah, the surviving line for Blues is probably like Storm Surge, Imagine, but then you can't... I think Blues Stone Raining themselves to the Magmatic Cache actually super hurts right now because as a result, even if they draw a land off of the Imagine, they won't be able to cast Spotless Mind next. I also think that this is why Spotless Mind is a bit of a weird choice as a wipe, as compared to something like Reign of Madness or other 1 red 3 damage to all creature wipes. So Blues is going to orchestrate Storm Surge. Oh, and it's going to play the Magmatic Cache instead of the Spotless, instead of the Imagine, and it's going to kill the Ocean instead of the Emperor's Retainer. I guess at this point is all in on having to cast this and win, basically. Of course, nuking your lands doesn't really help the mana situation, but Magmatic Cache essentially counts as a +1 there. Let's see, so probably Oracle's Vision, and then Blues has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, has 6 engrave. We'll get 7 from the Oracle's Vision, so it costs 5 right now. If they mill at least 2 instants or sorceries off of this, Infuse the Apparatus is castable next turn, and I think just Blues just wins on the spot as a result. Oh god, and yeah, that mills 3. That is likely more than enough. Especially is that triple Unleash the Dragon? Yeah, that's triple Unleash the Dragon. Wait, the triple Unleash the Dragon is not as great? Oh, and Wait, that's actually pretty bad. Hold on. Because in order for Infuse to work, you want to have at least one Unleash in the deck, but now there's 3 in Grave and 1 in Blues' hand, so the Unleash the Dragon line doesn't work. And Blues doesn't have any other burn spells here. So this is actually not super great. Kenneth drawing the Spiraling Canyon off of Masahita, and then drawing Warhound Shuja off of the normal draw. Then swings in for 9. So Blues going down to 2 life right here is basically like, if Blues comes back from and wins this with 1 life on the clock with the mana confluence, this will be a heartbreaker for Kenneth. Kenneth's going to play out the Warhound Shuja. And I think the worst part is, and is that, wait, even if Blues could cast the Spotless Mind, I think both copies are, so this is looking pretty awful. Like, you cast Infuse, and then what do? Do you just spin your wheels hoping to find, like, what is Blues' out here? Maybe I'm missing something, and Blues can actually win off the current Infuse pile, but this is feeling pretty bad, because you can't Unleash the Dragon, your only burn spell is the Storm Surge. You can, like, Oracle's Vision to try to mill into more stuff, and then infuse those. I think that's probably your best shot. You want to, like, Oracle's Vision, mill into 3 burn spells, and then cast them off Infuse, and then just try to wipe Kenneth's board that way. Also has Scorch in hand. Actually, no, it has Scorch in hand, so you can cast a Scorch first. Yeah, okay, so you cast the Scorch first, kill something. You play Infuse the Apparatus, putting yourself to 1 life. Then you can Storm Surge, Scorch, kill 2 other things. And if you Oracle's Vision and hit a single other thingamabobber. Oh, it's actually gonna. Oh wait, yeah, no. Wait, no. I think you just wait. No, Blues is looking to just win right here because I forgot that Imagine allows you to shuffle any number. So you just shuffle back one of the milled Unleash the Dragons, and then you probably. Yeah, that is a line I did not consider. I was thinking just kill all of Kenneth's creatures and go from there, but I think Blues is just gonna win on 1 life in pure style. Now, of course, has to see. Yeah, the main thing is that. So Storm Surge for 3. Oracle's Vision, Magmatic Cache, Imagine. So I do. No, yeah, okay. So you do just win here, which does it right, because what you do is you can use Imagine to shuffle in and Unleash the Dragon after you use it again, and then infuse the Apparatus to get it back. I think so. Yeah, I think if I've calculated this right, Blue does win by just like playing out all of their cantrips except Imagine. So like you play Storm Surge face, Magmatic Cache, Oracle's Unleash. Oh wait, Unleash. You can't actually do the Imagine one. So it actually does. I think it does come down to what you mill off Oracle's, because you do Oracle's Vision, Magmatic Cache, Imagine, Storm Surge. Then when you play Unleash the Dragon, it deals 6. So Kenneth has taken a total of 9, is down to 5. And then you need to mill 2 burn spells off of Oracle's Vision. I'm not sure if I'm processing that right, but I think that is how this is. So yep, Blues has yeah, and then you just get the last 3 damage off of the second because the spells that you cast off of and don't get exiled, they go into your graveyard, so you can actually just do it all over. And that was kind of a tight game, and Blues ekes it out at a single life, and we're going to a game 3. Kenneth had all the disruption, and Blues kind of was floundering for a little bit there with some cards that were not actually still in their hand, but they ultimately were able to keep a cool head and navigate out of that treacherous situation. Okay, and we're getting into game 3. Kenneth on the play, and I think has kind of a shaky hand. Has Emperor's Retainer into Hanaru Spear into Seto-san, but no actual disruption, and I don't think Seto-san can fetch this matchups, and all of Kenneth's disruption is creature-based. So all Kenneth has is a kind of awkward curve, and the Hanaru Spear is actually not that good, because you don't get like a real chance to equip it until turn 4. Yeah, meanwhile, Blues is just going to go Scorch, has like Stand Unassailable to gain life, Unleash the Dragon naturally, Wheat from Chaff plus Fiery Temper is another way for Blues to bolt. So this is looking kind of dire for Kenneth. Like, Seto-san's lifelink is pretty good against Blues' deck, but only if you get it for like multiple turns, because otherwise you're just going to, like, Blues can go way, way over the top depending on what cards are in cards. So You really can't rely on life gain as a surefire disruption. Still, okay, turn 2, gonna play out the Hanaru Spear, but doesn't really have anything this 2. Yeah, I think that, like, Kenneth, even if it was, I think the thing is, like, in this matchup, you can't keep fine 7. You need a, like, mull for, like good or great 6s or 5s, because having an aggressive curve out or having disruption or having both ideal is the only way you're meeting this matchup, and taking turn 2 off is really just, it's a no-go. So yeah, Blues is kind of at leisure right here. I think that if you're Blues, you probably stand unassailable here. Okay, no, it's going to Wheat from Chaff. I was thinking that you save Wheat from Chaff plus Fiery Temper for a future turn and to kill a creature if you need to, and then just play the stand unassailable now. Because then next turn you can play, because of the double mana confluence, you can play multiple blue cantrips. But still, looks like Blues is going to run out and discards one of the Unleash the Dragons alongside the Fiery Temper. So it's in a pretty good situation graveyard-wise, and then next turn Oracle's Vision will hopefully, for Blues, mill over a bunch more instants or sorceries, and then draw him into and Unleash the Apparatus, or Infuse the Apparatus, sorry. Turn 3, Kenneth is going to run out Seto-san. It looks like thinking about plussing or minusing. I don't think that there's any universe in which you minus here. Yeah, it's just going to plus. Next turn can double equip this warrior and make it into a 4/4 with First Strike Vigilance. The First Strike Vigilance obviously doesn't matter. The 4 hitting in for 7 lifelink next turn does. So Blues definitely wants to try and nip that in the bud. Doesn't really have an answer to Seto-san here, though. It's going to Oracle's Vision, milling Scorch, finish off Imagine, and an unfortunate mill from Kenneth. The first time they see Emma all match, and it's because Emma's being milled off the top. Kind of tragic. Okay, and then Blue's going to run out Spirit Script. Just going to, again, is just trying to draw into Unleash the Apparatus at this point, because is now going to have a whopping 9 engrave. So with 3 mana would be able to cast it next turn, and then just win the game. And then next turn, Blues can Magmatic Cache safely because has 2 lands in hand. So it won't be that much of a drawback. So we'll be able to dig even deeper with the Magmatic Cache for the Infuse. Discards the Mana Confluence, though. Interesting. Yeah, I guess because you don't need both lands, you only need 1 more, realistically. Of course, I think the more lands Blues ditches, the less that useful the 4 mana wipe becomes, which I hope Blues cited that out after seeing how effective it was last game. Okay, Kenneth drawing into a Tall. So I suspect you're probably going to see Tall naming a sorcery and then equipping the Hanaru Spear. So then gain 6 goes up to 21 and has a disruptive Hate Bear on the battlefield, which all of a sudden completely changes the dynamic of this game. And yeah, has to play the Ocean Monastery on tap to do this, unfortunately, because again, Shikami Castle, not that great. Actually, before I said that, I thought that it could not add colorless. It does, in fact, add colorless. So then, didn't actually have to play the fetch. Well, I guess if you want to do both this turn, you need. I don't know what I'm saying. The bottom line is, yeah, needs to play the fetch to actually both play Tall and equip the warrior token with Hanaru Spear for maximum life gain and mana efficiency. And yep, attaches the Hanaru Spear to the life-linked warrior. Okay, and is obviously just going to plus Seto-san once more, and then swing in for 6 lifelink. So has Blues on just shy, or basically a 2-turn clock right here. Meanwhile, is Blues going to hit? Blues does not hit the Infuse the Apparatus, despite being 1/3 through his entire deck. Hasn't seen a single copy. Still, Magmatic Cache plus Imagine should get Blues some of the way there. Oh no, he's tapping 3. He's going for an Unleash the Dragon play. Okay, he's going to Unleash the Dragon on... Oh yeah, I guess you want to Unleash the Dragon on the Tall anyways, because so you can Unleash the Dragon on the Tall and then kill it, so you can set up for a Storm next turn and then play Magmatic Cache now for 1. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Any other sequencing would have left Blues unable to do both things, and looks like Blues is thinking. But yeah, like I think you have to play to your outs, and in this case that's dropping the Magmatic Cache. I think at this point you can... Oh, I was about to say at this point you can sack the mana Confluence. You don't really need it anymore. But, okay, draws into Wheat from Chaff, Unleash the Dragon, Storm Surge. Yeah, it is a bit dire for Blues here. We're kind of in the final hour. And again, Blue... How much damage is Blues going to take on this next turn? It's going to take 3 from Seto-san, 3 from the Warrior, 2 from the... It's going to take a total of 8. Puts Blue down to 3. So still can use the mana cost effectively. Fair. Actually, Kenneth can minus. Wait, can Kenneth -3 and just win the game? What are the equipment targets that Kenneth has? There's Hanabira, which gives +2/+2. Himitsu, which gives +2/+2. So interesting. So, okay, Kenneth gonna equip the Hanaru Zagus. I think the thing is Kenneth can grab a 2 mana equipment and equip it to one of his creatures, and in doing so, no, okay, I was gonna say if Kenneth had main one grabbed like a Hanabira and given something +2/+2, they would have been swinging for 10 rather than 8 here. And the reason that would be important is that that would put blues off of using the mana confluence. And putting blues off using the mana confluence means that blues wouldn't be able to play cantrip into and unleash the apparatus unless they also hit a land. So I think that is a pretty important consideration that Kenneth didn't make there. Or wait, would blues have just been dead? Am I miscounting? I think blues should be at 3 life. Yeah, blues should be at 3 life, yeah. And it looks like too late Kenneth realizes that he should fetch the equipment. Gonna grab the Hanabira here, and then probably equip it to the other warrior. And equipping it to the other warrior is good here because it forces like if blues, like it doesn't really matter here, but like if blues, if for like somehow let's say has unleash burn wouldn't just be able to run out the unleash for 1, would have to go, actually it doesn't really matter for sequences, but yeah. So blues drawing a Nebula of empty gold, turning this off would also have been good, another good reason to deal 2 more damage. See, I think blue does blue still die if blues plays the stand unassailable? Because loses 1, gains 7, goes to 9, and just dies. Yeah, so blues dies. So blues can't cast the Imagine here. Blues has to has to discard like Unleash the Dragon, Storm Surge, play Magmatic Cache, or play Nebula, lose 1, naming red. Play Magmatic Cache, sacrificing Shugenja, draw 3 cards, and then hope to hit and Infuse. Again, this is just getting more and more ridiculous because blues is almost halfway through their deck. This is some really unfortunate luck right here. See, I think you discard the stand and the unleash. Like the stand for sure, because at this point, even if you cast the stand, you're losing next turn. And the Imagine is actually probably good to keep. The unleash I don't think you need, nor do you need the Storm Surge at this point. See, it discards the Storm Surge and chooses to discard the Oracle's Vision instead. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, I think the winning, I think the only out to win is, yeah, okay, Magmatic Cache. And yep, here comes the Magmatic Cache. And blues draws it! Oh my god, this is a literal heartbreaker for Kenneth. Oh my god. It's over. Blues plays Nebula for 1, taps Mana Confluence plus Nebula, and then at 1 life, again, 2 games in a row, will cast Infuse and win the game. Right? Okay, wait. All 4 unleashes being in the graveyard does hurt a little bit. Hold on. And Kenneth being at 27 life also hurts a little bit. But it's basically your only out. So I think you just gotta windmill slam the Infuse and then just try. Like, I think that you have to hope that I don't even know what you hope for. Yeah, not being able to, like, actually all 4 Unleash the Dragons being in grave is another piece of incredibly unfortunate luck. Because blues has 9 damage with the Scorch, Fiery Temper, and Finish Off. But, no wait, so Scorch, Fiery Temper, Scorch, Fiery Temper, Storm Surge, Finish Off. I think, oh my god. If you're blues, I don't think that you actually have lethal here. And so, in an incredibly bizarre fashion, I think that you point all of your burn spells at Kenneth's stuff to kill them and buy yourself time, and then you can Oracle's Vision to set yourself up again, Magmatic Cache sacrificing the Mana Confluence because you can't use it to draw more cards, and you just but I don't even know how blues, like, the really unfortunate thing is that Blues had to exile all of their Unleash the Dragons. If they had access to one more mana before all of that, they could have imagined and shuffled them back in. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe playing the Imagine instead of the Magmatic Cache was the better thought. But yeah, this is an awkward situation. Blue's not finding a Magmatic Cache off the Unleash. That is actually surprising to me since this Mana Confluence is functionally useless. I guess you can stand unassailable, but I think that, like, for the most part. But yeah, okay, so Blue's going to start off by just killing Kenneth's everything. I don't think... Does Kenneth have any haste threats in their library? Well, okay, they have Nova Skyship Captain. So if they top deck Nova, they can just kill Blues before Blues gets to untap. And they have 3 copies, so that's like their one out. I mean, it's not like Blues is in a good situation anyways. So then Blues plays Oracle's Vision, milling Scorch, Monkey Shines, and an island. Kenneth mills the second Emma, the third Seto-san, and a little Kibo. Okay, and then Wheat from Chaff coming down. Gonna discard the Mana the Mana Confluence and the Wayfarer Shrine are both not worth it right now. But I think Blues is thinking, should I discard something that I want in the... Yeah, it's gonna discard the Spirit Script because you actually care about having that engraved more. And then it's going to play the Imagine. What do you shuffle in here? Just the Scorch? Oh, no. You're shuffling Wait, no. Well, what are you doing? You're shuffling everything in? Huh? I'm confused. Yeah, I'm not sure what Blues is doing here. Is Blues, like, deciding what to shuffle back in? But I don't think that there's anything that you want to shuffle back in other than the one Scorch, because you can't use it. No, okay, puts Monkey Shine's Oracle's Vision, Wheat from Chaff, Scorch back into their library? Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not sure why they did this. Do they not have any more copies of those cards to exile? Maybe not. I guess that might have been it. That they didn't. That those were the copies. Those are the cards that they don't have actually any more copies to exile to an Infuse. But yeah, I'm not. Okay, top deck, and there's the. Oh my God! There's the Nova top deck. Never punished, baby. Oh my God. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. It's a pirate's life for me. Oh my God. After all that, Kenneth was like, yo, I gave you some hope only so I could make your demise even more painful. Oh. And yet Kenneth saying in chat the most insane top deck of their life, and by golly was it. That was an incredibly tight game 3. And I think it's really unfortunate because, like, obviously there was, like, good play on both sides, and, like, sometimes players make mistakes. I think that, like, Kenneth forgetting to grab the equipment just made for, like, a hype moment. But Blues got so unlucky with how deep his first Infuse was, and then having to mill all 4 Unleashes along the way so that he couldn't actually win on that turn was incredibly painful. Like, everything lined up in the most unfortunate way for Blues. But still, that was, I think, a tour de force performance from Blues, both in Game 2 and Game 3. And overall, just an insanely back-and-forth set from both of these players. So, big thanks to Blues and Kenneth for putting on, I think, one of my favorite matches, or one of my favorite matches to commentate in MSEM in a while. And good games to both of them. I think Blues hit kind of a unfortunate streak this GP, but I'm hoping that they're going to bring back Infuse Storm next GP better than ever, because, I mean, with turns like that, I think that's about as good as Magic gets. So I guess for one last time, good games to both of these players. Congratulations to Kenneth. And until next time, this is Caillou signing off.